All right, hello and welcome to Maverick Championship Wrestling presents the Madness Wrap-Up Show here on the Maverick Championship Wrestling YouTube channel. I am your host, the D-Train, and we just finished Maverick Madness here on a Thursday afternoon. Gotta say, it ended in quite a surprising fashion. But let's go over the whole show, because after all, it is time to wrap it up here with Maverick. So we opened the show right away. Deuce's Wild Tag Title Group Round. Psychedelic Outlaws versus the Wild Boys. In the end, Nitro Ralston kicks out of not one, not two, but three Xanthraxes from Shifty. He ends up pinning Shifty outside the ring and getting the victory for the Wild Boys. Wild Boys now 2-0 in the group rounds and off to one hell of a good start. Next, we had the Maverick debut blood triple threat elimination as Demon Joker Adam Angel faced off against Devlin and the Dream Machine Bobby Dean. Bobby Dean is the first one eliminated by Devlin. Then the Demon Joker Adam Angel able to eliminate Devlin and win the match. Nice debut for both Adam Angel and Devlin in this one. They showed out well. Next, we went to the women's division as Jerica Page faced off against D-Hulk Chick, getting the victory in that one. Nice back and forth contest here. Both ladies showed well. Jerica Page able to be victorious. Then we went back to the Deuce's Wild Tag Title Group Rounds as Black Cross went up against Heaven and Hell with Mrs. U-Taker at ringside. The debuting team of Black Cross Crimson Ninja able to talk Mordred Nightwalker back into the ring as his tag team partner. They come up short, though, against the father and son team of Paul and Mr. U-Taker, known as Heaven and Hell. Next up, we had an exciting barbed wire title Hell in a Cell showdown. That's right, 30 minutes on the clock. Who can get the most falls? In the end, it is Ghazi who's able to get 5 falls in the contest and win the barbed wire title. After that, we went to a main event, ladies tag team action. As the women's division continues to grow, more teams are forming by the day. We knew Raven had won the right to team with Crushing Kelly and called themselves the Black Magic. They took on a team we didn't know was a team until tonight. Susie the Elf and Maya Muertes team up to take on Black Magic. However, this match doesn't last long as Maya picks up Crushing Kelly for what looked like maybe a suplex or a brainbuster, but Kelly able to roll Maya up in a small package and steal the 1-2-3 victory in very short order, but impressive nonetheless. All right, so now let me go to the green room. I do have somebody in the green room, and somebody that was in the main event. So maybe we'll go to her right away and talk about it here as I welcome in none other than Crushing Kelly. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Well, you get a main event shot, and you didn't want that spotlight long. You wanted the win worse and get a nice victory there over one of the biggest ladies in the Maverick, Maya Muertes. Tell me, did she just slip up? Did she not see it coming? How were you able to surprise her so quickly?
Well, let me tell you something. I met Maya on one of my past tours in Mexico. That's how I met her. And I was in Mexico City, saw this big woman in the ring with a lot of with some agility despite her size. So I decided to bring her to the United States with me, with her interpreter. And I know plenty about her moveset. She doesn't know everything about mine. So no wonder I took her down.
You telegraphed that. I assume it was going to be a vertical suplex. I don't know. You telegraphed that move early and just rolled her up right away. That makes sense. Well scouted. I got to say, picks up a tag team victory for you and Raven. Your first here in the Maverick is the first time y'all been able to team up. So off to a good start.
Hey, Black Magic is on a roll, so this is only the start.
All right. While we're talking about Black Magic, I know there was a lot of chatter. I'm gonna call you out a little bit here, and maybe you'll defer to Raven. I don't know. A lot of chatter during the barbed wire title match about somebody not pulling their weight for Raven. Any comments about one Zeke Drexel and his, I'm gonna say, pretty bad performance in that title match?
I even yay. First, Reeves is wondering why I wasn't predicting him for the win. Well, I just joined the crew, and I'm first getting to know this guy, so I was open for him to prove me wrong. Well, he didn't. He didn't prove me wrong, so I meant to, even in a joking manner, maybe Raves needs to borrow Goddess's basement and teach Zeke a lesson.
Maybe. I got to say, Zeke was very impressive when we were doing the house shows, getting ready to relaunch the bigger shows. But now, since we've hit the couple big shows here, he choked in the Universal title tournament. And then tonight, again, in the barbed wire title match. I don't know. Something's not going right for him since the big lights have come on.
Sometimes it's a cluster when it comes to multi-man matches. Anything can happen. You think you got this, and somebody else just does.
That's true. I'll agree with that. But it was a one-on-one contest he lost in the Universal title match or title tournament.
I didn't catch who was he against.
I gotta look it up myself. He lost to Andy Price.
Well, Andy Price, he's a pint-sized powerhouse, but he's no one to underestimate.
True.
He can definitely pull out a win when he puts his mind to it. It's just one of these things where he ended up getting one over on the big man.
Well, since I got you here and we're talking about Andy Price, let me pull up the final four here. See if I can do it on screen so everybody can see it. Think I can figure that out. Maybe.
I have plenty of time.
There we go. I got it up there. So we've got the final four. They'll be all competing at the pay-per-view coming up soon. James Harris versus Andy Price, and then War versus the modern-day Warrior Ethan Moore. I'm gonna even say a surprising final four to me. There's names missing that I expected to be there. Meanwhile, I can sit there and say every one of those guys deserve to be where they are. So it's funny to me. The people that got the first round buys all got eliminated in the second round. So we got people that have wrestled a couple of times now going against each other. So we've seen them all a little bit. You got any favorites amongst the group?
The final four. Andy Price versus James Harris. That's one of my Uncle Mordrin's kids. So, let's just say it's easy to say James Harris because James is bigger than Andy, of course. But either person has a chance to pull out the win. So I'm not choosing a winner for either of those. And then War versus Ethan Moore. I've seen War take down many people in other companies, but Ethan Moore is kind of like maybe a dark horse in this because you never know what he'll pull out of his bag of tricks. So I think it's best I don't underestimate either one and choose a winner.
Sounds good. You sound like you run a show yourself. You know how to stay neutral in all this, right?
Well, plus I also know it's best not to root against a Nightwalker. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not choosing a winner in this situation.
Right. All right. Well, anything else you got for us? Otherwise, I will slide you back into the green room and bring on somebody else.
I'll just chill out in the green room.
All right, Kelly. Thank you for joining me here on the Wrap Up Show. I do appreciate every guest that comes on. Like I say, I chill them back to the green room because you never know. I might bring in groups later with somebody else. But first, let's go to the other side of that main event. And the one of the losers in that main event, my sister, Susie the Elf, who never even stepped foot in the ring, as Maya gets small packaged within the first 10 seconds and loses the match. Susie, welcome to the show.
Yeah, you just had to emphasize loser, didn't you, bro?
Well, what can I say? Y'all lost in record time for a main event match here on Maverick. So you kind of have to emphasize that, don't you? There wasn't much else to the match.
Well, but I mean, you could have just said one of the losers of the match. You didn't have to emphasize it. I mean, your sister, and I didn't even step foot in the ring. It's not like I lost the match.
But that kind of is the point there. This is somebody, one, you seeked out as an opponent, and evidently you liked what you saw when you faced her because she beat you. You team up with her, and she loses that quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna be exchanging some gestures later because we can't really exchange words with each other. We have to go through an interpreter. But yeah, we're gonna be exchanging some gestures later. We're gonna be working this thing out because 10 seconds is not acceptable. I mean, I can deal with losing a match. I can deal with that. You know me well enough to know I can deal with losing a match. But 10 freaking seconds in? Hell no.
I gotta think it was right there in front of you. You had to have been thinking there's no way she doesn't kick out of this, but Kelly had that thing locked in deep and just got the 3 count. I think surprised by it.
I was a little stunned. That's why I didn't get in to break it up.
Right.
And so yeah, I mean I was a little caught off guard. That's why I didn't have it took me a moment to figure out what was going. Like, what? There's a pin? What? Oh, over. So yeah, it caught me off guard. That's why I didn't break it up. But I give it to Kelly. I mean, she had her well scouted, and so I mean, I do give it to Kelly. Good job. Good job to Kelly for rolling her up and getting the pin. I'll give props to her. She had it. And she had Maya's number, but next time could be completely different match. I mean, we could go to the distance before we get the pin. I mean, you never know how the cookie's going to crumble.
I almost want to pin. I almost want to book some sort of Iron Woman match between the two teams just to see if Kelly can get 30 victories in a 30-minute match. 1 a minute. I think she might be able to pull it off with what I saw today.
I don't think so. You know me better than that. That would not happen.
Maybe you're starting off the next match. I don't know. Well,
maybe so. But I want to comment on the final 4 of the men's tournament.
Okay, go for it. You want me to pull it back up?
No, I know that we've got Harris versus Andy Price.
Right.
Now, I want to tell you, Andy Price is the most underrated underdog out there. everywhere I've seen him, people discount him, and they, oh, he's a little guy. He's not going up against the big guys. Oh, no, Andy Price can't do it. That is the most underrated underdog I have ever seen. Now, I'm not going to predict who wins because whenever I do that, they lose. So I'm not going to say who I think is going to win. I'm just going to say Andy Price is the most underrated underdog I have ever seen. Now, James Harris, he's a night walker. That says it all. I mean, you look at his lineage, and you know his daddy has been training him all since he could toddle. His play was play wrestling. I know the family well, a little
Right.
too well, but yeah, we won't go there. He had those boys wrestling each other from the as soon as he could, and as soon as Missy would let him. So these boys have been wrestling from like pretty much day one, and so. Has he been doing this a long time? Yes. Is he good? Oh, hell yes. So you can't discount James Harris by no means. He's an excellent wrestler, very technical. He has the technical skills. You never know what trick he's going to pull, but you cannot discount Andy Price. He's baby small, but he can knock down the giants.
Agreed.
And then anybody who knows the relationship between me and Ethan, you know how I feel about this next match. I love that boy. He may drive me blooming crazy half the time, but I love that boy.
War's been in eternity with you, so that's a stablemate.
Yeah, War's a stablemate, but Ethan is family. So, kind of torn here on this one.
So you'll be cheering for Ruthless.
I'll be cheering for the fans.
Just can't get you to say it, can I?
You're not going to get me to say it. I have nothing. Hey, I have nothing against Ruthless. Eternity. I have not been officially informed that Eternity has been brought to Maverick.
No, not back yet.
So until I've been told that Eternity is in Maverick, hey, I have no problem with Ruthless.
Gotcha.
I've seen a lot of good things come out of what Ruthless is doing. From an impartial person, there's some good things Ruthless is doing. There's some things Ruthless is doing that I sit here and go, huh? And then there's some things I sit here and I damn well shake my head at. But, that's with any faction.
You got to say right now, though, Ruthless is winning.
Ruthless is winning. That's why I said there's a lot of good things coming out of Ruthless right now. You cannot discount that Ruthless is putting some good they're putting some good product out there. They've got some great I'm trying to think, who are the two guys, the tag team?
Orcus and Laszlo, or it was Orcus and Rain this week. Rain took Laszlo's place, but
Orcus and Laszlo, hell, those guys are just damn near impossible to stop.
I will agree. Those are two that have come out of the academy that I'm even impressed by. I didn't have a lot of hands-on training with either one of them, so I'm kind of seeing them for the first time as everybody else. They're
impressive.
Yep.
There's some good stuff coming out of Ruthless, but like I said, with any faction, you are going to see some things that you sit there and you shake your damn head at and go, what the hell?
All right. Well, Susie, I need to get to some other guests, so I'm going to slide you back to the green room.
All righty.
May
Sorry.
bring you in a little bit later.
Alrighty.
All right. Let's see. Next up, I am going to go with somebody who is the number one contender for a show title, which I've got some news on that as well. So I'm going to bring him in. None other than Brandon Ace. Welcome to the show.
Hello. It feels good to be back.
Sounds like I'm not dealing with the echo that we've had the last few times you called in. So it's good to hear from you.
Of course. Got that fixed.
I did hear from you earlier this week, and it sounds like you're ready to say which show you're going to remain a part of. Do you want to do that here? Do you want to wait?
Might as well do it now. I'm planning to cash my... I plan to be standing on Monday nights, which is Shootout.
That's right. So your number one contender for the Shootout title officially now is Brandon Ace. Now, you'll ask who's the champion. We don't have one yet. And that's the news I have. So this coming Monday on Shootout, we will be having 6 qualifying matches, which is going to take up most of the show. Those 6 winners will go into an elimination chamber at the pay-per-view to crown the first Shootout champion. Whoever comes out of that chamber, they will face Brandon Ace the following Monday on Shootout, defending that title against the number one contender. So there you go, Brandon. There's how you're going to find out who you're facing. You, of course, will be held out of the chance to face off in the chamber because you're already guaranteed the title shot at the winner of the chamber. Make sense?
Of course it makes sense. Like, did you forget what I had to do to become number one contender for the Shootout title?
Right. Also, by default, this also means Ivan Calloway will be the number one contender for the Madness title, the one here on Thursdays. That title will also be decided at the pay-per-view in a similar fashion, but instead of a chamber, it's going to be a fatal 4-way ladder match for the Madness title. And then Calloway will get his shot at the winner of that. So the pay-per-view is taking shape. It's getting close. Susie said she had forgotten how you became the number one contender. But she has memory issues, so that's expected.
That's debatable.
All right, well, Brandon, I know you're excited. I'm excited to have you on Shootout. I think you'll be a solid member of that roster. Obviously, the Universal title tournament's coming close to an end. There's 4 guys left in that. Whoever's holding the Shootout and the Madness titles will always be considered top contenders for that Universal title, which I know you covet as well. But last time you were on a wrap-up show, somebody came on and proposed teaming up with you in a tag team. I want to know, have you given any thought to that, or have we moved any closer to you and one Chance Nightwalker teaming up here in the Maverick?
Well, it's funny you say that because I'm still thinking about that. Maybe depending what happens in my Shootout title match, you'll probably hear my decision, because that's more about I'm worrying is becoming champion. Because let's be honest, if I have that Shootout title, it's going to be the title, not the Universal title. The Shootout title is going to be the title, because with any championship I got, it's going to be the most important title on Monday nights, which is the best show, because now you have the 24-karat superstar, which is me. Got it?
I got it. I hear you loud and clear. Well, Brandon, I appreciate you coming on here today. Do you got anything else you want to share with us before I slide you back?
Well, I kind of want to talk about the 4 people that are in the semifinals for the Universal title. Like,
okay.
I'm going to be honest, like, I have to admit, they're all some good competitors, but let's be honest, the only reason those 4 are there is because I'm not in there, because I would have easily beaten any of those opponents and get to the finals and become champion because it shows how fucking good I am. They're not. And if they got a problem with it, they know where to find me. But they're going to end up getting humiliated.
All right, Brandon. I'm going to slide you out on that note. I appreciate it. Good word there from Brandon Ace, #1 contender for the shootout title. He is anxious to get that title from whoever wins it at the pay-per-view. All right, I got one last person in the green room here, and I'm going to bring him in. Hopefully, he was able to catch all of today's show because he, in particular, had something happen on Monday night that then happened to me on Monday night and happened to me again today. So I want to see if he knows maybe what's going on, as he's always got his ear to the ground. That is your boy Blaze McCoy. Welcome to the show.
Yo. What's up, D-Train? Yeah, I know what you're getting at, and I've seen the interruptions, so to speak, that you've had, but I don't have the slightest, my friend. I wish I did have a clue to help you out on that. But I've dealt with similar situations, and I know how frustrating it can be.
They are, and the only reason I say I'm going to bring you on is Junior McCoy, your boy. He reached out to you and said he was going to make an impact. And we see Junior McCoy and Facade fighting backstage as we come on the air live Monday night. Then at the end of the show, it's me getting attacked as I'm trying to, get a little food before coming on the wrap-up show. This time the person's all in black and we can't tell who it is. I'm not pointing the finger at Junior because Junior, what he did fully unmasked. We knew exactly who he was. But when you start seeing attacks backstage, you start tying them together. So I start pointing the fingers a little bit. I know you've said you got your ear to the ground and you see what's going on here in Maverick and you're gonna watch things closely. So you're watching things closely. What am I supposed to do about these guys?
Well, first and foremost, let's dispel any rumors, myths, or whatever that there's any connection between my son and those attacks because he's out to make a name for himself. He wants his face to be known. He wants people to know if he's going to make a statement. And he doesn't really have any agenda except for being successful. And he's going to avenge his loss. He was out to, that's why the attack. You made that connection, D-Train. You were right. He's out to make a statement that, no one's going to stand in his way. But he also said it's nothing personal. It's all business. And I know that saying very well. I'm glad to see him finally leading the same example, but he's learned something already. It took me years to learn, and that's taking something positive out of every loss. And just talking to him the last couple of days after that loss, it's a whole different Junior McCoy we're dealing with. But at the same time, I let everyone know he's training with the SEC. He's back on the right side of the fence, if you ask me. He's learning these valuable lessons, even when he loses. Let me also dispel another rumor, myth that's out there. There's no connection between me and my son. I didn't even know he was going to sign here when I was here. I had my own agenda, and I've hinted to it before. And let's just say I'm on a little recruiting trip right now, to be honest with you. And it's a little colder here than I wish right now this time of year. But I'm gonna unveil what I have soon enough, and it has nothing to do with my son. My son's on his own. It was a surprise to me when he signed up. So I'm just as interested to see where he ends up going. I am definitely involved in his path, but in Maverick, there's no connection between your boy Blaze and my son right now.
Okay, I'll accept that. You've always been a straight shooter with me. But it's funny, you go referencing you've got plans and you've got something going. So maybe Junior's not involved. Do I need to look at you and see, are you the one doing this? Because we know you don't like Ruthless that much, and I am Ruthless.
Yeah, well, as much as I despise, let me take it a step further. Despise because of things that have happened in the past. I'm not going to react to anything on the return of Maverick until I'm triggered or something happens to make me want to. So I got no beef with Ruthless right now. There's nothing that they've done besides me losing to Ethan, which, hey, it happens. The kid's on a roll. Look where he's at now. And everyone else put their 2 cents in on the Universal tournament. I want to see Warren Andy Price in the finals. That's my 2 cents. I'll keep it short and sweet. The two different styles, the differences in sizes, Both huge hearts. I'd love to see those two in the finals and see what happens.
All right. Well, I appreciate you throwing that out there. Blaze, we are unfortunately out of time, so I'm going to slide you back. I appreciate everybody for coming on the show. Crushing Kelly, Blaze McCoy, Susie the Elf, Brandon Ace. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come on the wrap-up show and talk a little Maverick with me. I've said it from the beginning. I'm going to keep these at about a 30-minute show, so if you want to be a part, don't wait around and wait till the end to try to get in here. Get in at the beginning. I'll get you on somewhere, somehow. I'll make Susie shut up. She rambles a little bit. I'll cut it shorter with Kelly. I'll do what I got to do to get you on as long as I know you're coming. So get in early. Let me plan it out and let me get you on. But 30 minutes is what we're going to cut it at. I want to thank you all for being here. I am the D-Train, and I am out of here.